Well, here we are. It's February 9th in Ohio, and we're just going to do a little talking about the shed season so far. These are the sheds we've found this season, and kind of talk about where they are percentage-wise between down south and up here where the other bucks are basically still holding. So, we got some cameras up here, and then up by Drake's house there, and most of the bucks are still holding, aren't they, Drake?
Yeah, pretty much all of them -1. He's gone now, so.
Yeah, well, I guess. Then we got the big old one there. He dropped his. We're pretty sure, but other than that, they're all holding. Bucks back here are still holding, and then the other property, there's basically all the properties up here are still holding, and down south, these are all from down south, other than these two right here. We're in Texas, but these are all from down south, which they usually drop early every year. So we get down there, and we haven't even looked. This is just in the fields and the feed plots and around the feeders, and pretty good pile so far for down there. We've still got some other matches. We got to match up like this one here, Big Brow, which he's just kind of been running around the whole farm, kind of in all our spots. Drake's spots in the middle of the farm, then mine on the outsides of the farm. But he's a nice 3-year-old. He's pretty cool. His other side's tall brow too, but it doesn't look the same. It's all like goes way out, but it'll be a nice one. Drake found this one here. Nice. He's a 4-year-old. Filmed him a couple of times this year and got some nice pictures of him, but he's just an 8-pointer, nothing special about him, this long main beam, but he'll be a 5-year-old this year. We got to match him up, but like we said, me and Drake haven't even walked around really down there other than just filling up the feeders and driving around the fields. And then the biggest set we got this year, that was a 5-year-old buck. Drake found both sides up in the location field there. One right close to my feeder, and then basically over the hill there where we usually don't find them. I was telling him we happened to look over. We were driving the gator this past weekend and found the other side here, and you can see on the bottom of the pedicle how it's just clean. It's been sitting there for it's probably been unshed for a month, I'd say. And then what is it, the weekend before, maybe a week or two before you and Dad found this one.
A week and a half.
And he's just heavy deer. He doesn't mean gonna score a lot, but he's just heavy. He's a 5-year-old, gonna be 6 this year, but he's never been bigger than this. This is his biggest year, but he's just been a straight 10 his whole life. But we got another set here, cool buck. I thought he was 3, and I was looking at some other antlers and pictures, and he might be 2 either way. I mean, he's got a lot of potential with the split brow, heavy mass. It's kind of goofy the way he is. It kind of reminds you of Drake was just talking about. This buck right here is a 3-year-old that died. Was an absolute giant, but kind of got the characteristics with the 10-point frame, the big splits off the brows and everything, and he lives right up there where he was, so pretty nice find there. I found these, and actually we got a video of Drake finding that antler, and then this one right here last weekend. That's a nice 2-year-old. He's a 9-point, and what was it on camera? Was the other side still on, or that was the second side he dropped?
Yeah, both sides are dropped now, so we're gonna match him.
A nice 2-year-old though. We found him in a spot we normally don't find any down there. Just one feeder, and was laying right over the hill, wasn't it?
Yep.
Good. He walked right over the edge this past weekend. We found the other big one. It was laying right there in the tall grass, but you just couldn't see it from where the gator was. But he's going to be a nice one. Just a pretty nice 2-year-old. Long main beams that swoop in.
Good mass.
And there's that other one like that with the split brow. They have a kicker off here that looks just like him frame-wise, but a lot more mass and a lot more character to him, but literally looks identical to him, like with the swooping around main beams. He's a 3-year-old, and he'll be a nice one too. But we got some pretty good ones, and that set there, just a 1.5 old, basically 9-point, gonna be a stud, but
a little goofy. Found this one up in Dakoda spot too, and then this one was at the location, the other spot. So these are, what is it, same weekend?
Same weekend.
Yeah, same weekend. That was a January.
Yeah, this was the same weekend you found the first side of the big one.
Mm-hmm.
And
on these two, the big one, and then that one
right
all
here.
the same weekend, all his spots.
Can't beat that for a day though. But like that, a lot of these bucks on that end of the farm, they've been all drops since, for sure by the middle of January they're all drops, and we just checked the cameras this weekend. Other than four bucks that are good sized, the rest of them have all dropped in the top part of the farm. Every year has dropped except for like a little batch crack, kind of like this, 8-point, a little bigger, and just every year they fall, or they happen to fall early, I guess. And I mean, they got tons of food. There's not much stress at all. We haven't hunted down there. They just say stress can sometimes drop them earlier in injury, but it's not really early though. I guess it's still January, but it's always drop early. And then yeah, I mean, Drake found these 2 little ones too. I think within the last
weekend.
Yeah, this was just a couple weeks ago, yeah, and just little ones out in the flats. But I mean, the farm down there is looking pretty good. But I'd say that right now down south, or at least us down there, it's about an hour and a half south, kind of the middle of the state of Ohio. They're all basically mostly dropped. I'd say 80% of them for us. Then up here, I'd say 70% of them are holding really. But just
pretty good. What have we got? Buster to find.
Yeah.
The other side of him, and then the other one that looks identical, and the other side of him and him. This one might be a long shot, but that one, didn't you say should be pretty close?
Yeah. This buck dropped the same day or same time, so it should be right there in the field or inside the woods somewhere up at the double man, because he dropped. He came back, both of them gone. So we still got some goings to pick up down there, and there's a bunch of bucks like this too down there that, I mean, they've all dropped. There's a couple of us running around, but we're just talking about the main bucks. But down there, the last couple of years, we haven't hunted down there much. I mean, Dale killed bumps there this year, but we just haven't had the deer. But he was a 6-year-old deer, and we got mature deer down there, just waiting for some bigger racked ones too. But we'll have a nice one to hunt next year, this one here, and then this will be a mature deer also. So it's definitely starting to turn around, starting to find a lot more sheds too than it's been. A lot more bucks have been moving in, so it's been looking good and a lot of potential here. So not too bad. These are the 2 I found in Texas, just old sheds that were there. But man, we found them pretty nice here in Ohio. But basically just getting started. We got a lot to find and a lot of goings to find up here, so we're excited. And yeah, we got some clips that we'll show you throughout the video of us finding some of these. We didn't get them all on camera, but I got basically 3. I was holding these 3 in my hand, and then this last weekend.
I was gonna say, Dad told me to find all 4 of mine.
Oh, he did? Okay. Yeah.
On the phone, so.
Yeah, we'll throw that on there, but yeah, it's a pretty good time, and we don't really go looking too crazy. And I mean, down south we will when they drop basically, because we can go in there, but up here we'll just let them be, so we don't push them off on the neighbors. We don't like going in the woods and scaring them too bad, because they'll go and drop somewhere else. So we'll wait till they fall on the cameras. That's why we watch them on the cameras, so we can go on there and hopefully find a lot more. But we'll try and talk about it every week and show an update of what we found. But this is over the last probably 3 weeks, I'd say, is what we found here, and pretty good start to the year, I'd say.
I was gonna say I found 7 probably, all from the gator seat pretty much.
Yeah. Yeah, basically all these have been found from the side by side, pretty much. Yeah, it's can't beat it really. So.
I was gonna say I think found this one from the gator seat, and then I found this one right 4 feet from it, and then that 4-year-old from the gator seat, and now I got out and saw this other one from it. So. And this other big one was this weekend. That was under the feeder. So.
Yeah, all gator seats. Yeah, I found this one when I got off the field of feeder. I was standing right next to the gator. I seen it. This one, I seen it from the gator. It was right next to this one, which I seen first. Went down and got it. I drove to the field of feeder. Was in the gator, seen this one, and down in Texas, we're in the side by side, seen both of these. So yeah, I haven't really had to do too much walking, so it's been pretty good really so far. They've been hitting those hunting plots, food plots, and whitetail mash down there, keeping them close, and they haven't been scared, and they just dropped them right for us. So that's one good thing about having the food late season too, is being able to find all the sheds and hopefully keep them close for you. But
yep.
What are some tips you think on shed hunting, Drake, when you go?
Drive around the gator, hope you see him in the field. No, I don't know, just walk the main trails, I guess, in the transition areas, and the bedding, obviously, but most of them this year have been pretty darn close to the feeders, so hopefully, I don't know, just do my normal route. Probably won't find many more. Well, up here around our properties, there should be some pretty close to the feeders, but there's not many big food plots up here like down there, so it'll be a little tougher to find, but quite a few pretty big ones running around.
Yeah.
Here and the house and the shop, so.
Yeah.
Atwater too. There's some younger ones that are gonna be nice. Well, there's one all busted up, but I looked there the other day and found one that was already shedded that got hit by the road. So hopefully that wasn't nothing crazy big.
Yeah, that always
He
stinks.
Yeah, he was only like this big, but
Oh, pedicle wise.
yeah,
Okay.
never know. It obviously sucks. So
Yeah. Yeah, we've done pretty good so far, and yeah, once they drop more for sure on the cameras up here, we'll start checking around, starting by our feed, and then basically work our way with all the trails back to their bed, and that's basically the best parts of where we like to look, I guess. But you always seem to find where you don't expect it when you're driving around or just walking in a random spot where they usually drop or in a front yard or something. So we usually like starting with the food and out in the fields first, so you don't pressure them. And then as the season goes on, we usually go deeper in the woods and just grit it off and look where they are. And farther closer to the end of the season it gets, when it starts getting green and basically done, basically we hit the most least likely spots normally just to try to cover everything. But been a pretty good year so far, and a lot of good potential coming, and 2 good mature bucks for sure that will be mature bucks for this year to hunt, and a lot more to go find this year. So yeah, so stick with us. We're going to try and do this every week, hopefully if we find some, but we don't always get out all the time, and like I said, we found a lot of easy ones, and it just depends. We'll try and do an update every week, or at least talk about what we're seeing so we know, let you guys know. We'll try to put it on the YouTube there every week and just show what we're finding and where we're finding them out as the season goes on. So get out there and get walking and find some of that white gold.